kind of you.
Yeah, but I have to download it. I'm just getting it off this right here.
Well, you can just stream it.
Yeah, I can.
Let me sketch it.
This is like sketchy. So this is Pete Gooch, and he wrote Swank City. He wrote Hubcaps over Hollywood, and introduced me to Hitchcock. Well, not, but you were Pete.
There's Brian.
There's Paula.
You don't.
No, that's another.
That's Paula.
You don't mind if I do this interview real quick, do you? Pete, you don't mind if I interview right now? Okay, for my channel, but I wanted to ask one question. Okay, about Ed Wood. So one question I wanted to know is, did you write that knowing Tim Burton was doing it, or was it before?
Absolutely.
You had no idea?
No, I started it 2 years before that.
It was coincidence.
Yeah, absolute coincidence.
Because it opened the same night.
They opened on the same
Same night. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't find out about it until 3 or 4 months before.
Hubcaps over Hollywood. Yeah.
Johnny named it, gave me the title.
Oh, Johnny named it.
Yeah, because I couldn't come up with a title. I wanted to use Nightmare of Ecstasy.
Nightmare of Ecstasy?
Which is the name of a book about Ed Wood.
Yeah. Oh, it's based on a book.
Part of it is. Most of it's based on the films.
Uh-huh.
But the background story of Ed Wood, I got mostly out of this biography. This guy in New York, I can't remember his name, but Tim Burton had purchased the rights to it.
I see.
But he gave me permission to go ahead and use it. So use anything I can find.
Was it based on one biography, or just your collage of ideas about Ed Wood?
As I say, primarily based on the film. Things I'd read about him in magazines and stuff like that. And from the book, I got his chronological life story, because I don't think anybody had done that to that point. Which I didn't focus on that much. I focused more on him making movies.
Right. I remember one moment in the play where he reads that he is the worst filmmaker of all time. Yeah, and that sounded like an encyclopedia or something, wasn't it? Or
that was the first time I'd heard of it. I can't remember the exact name of the book.
This was Ed Wood over here.
It was something called Turkeys, and it had all the worst movies ever made, and it had Plan 9 from Outer Space, and they had awarded him the Grand Turkey Award, worst director of all time. And in my play, I play him after life. And he's trying to rewrite.
Right. He's already passed away.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And he's watching himself, played by Ed, as a young man.
Right.
Making these same mistakes that he made over and over.
And Bela Lugosi.
And make it come out right.
Right.
And
I remember the Beware.
That whole framing device, that was all me. I mean, I didn't get that from any source.
Okay. Yeah, it's very different than how Tim Burton, went about it. But yet the mania was with Ed. You had the mania down, and also the Beware thing with Bela Lugosi, and the relationship was still there. I remember Dick Peacock in the Tree. And the light would shift, and you would have him.
Dick Harris.
Dick Harris. I'm sorry, not Dick Peacock. Sorry about that. Dick Harris.
Music too is key.
Music is very important.
Yeah, the Little Jack melody.
The music was brilliant.
That second act with Orson Welles. Yeah, it was awesome.
Orson Welles
The greatest director of all time.
Popped up in the movie too.
We do.
Hey Ed, you're okay if I use this, right? Like on my okay. I'm just make sure.
That just freaked me out because I just came up with that.
That's weird, yeah.
But it was a completely different context because in my play he's comforted by Orson Welles in the afterlife.
Who played Orson Welles?
Brian Beck.
Brian Beck. Okay, he's passed away. Okay, that's amazing. Orson Welles is definitely a ghost-like character.
We really do. It's a masterpiece.
Well, do we have a tape of it? Is it recorded?
Yeah, there's somewhere.
And it has not been released. It's hidden. Now, is it VHS?
Yeah.
That'll be a BITCH.
No,
Yeah.
I had written it.
You know how to do it? Okay. Convert it. We got to get that thing on a cloud, so it's floating with all the little Jack Melody music and everything. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, he's got to find it. I'm sure Dwight taped it. It's a Dwight tape, so it's shot probably at one angle.
Yeah.
Chris.
Tape guy?
Yeah.
Chris. No, it's Dwight.
No, he didn't do any of this. Flemings. Chris Flemings taped.
I always thought, I didn't know it was coincidence. I always thought maybe you followed Tim Burton's career. I didn't know you were actually.
Shocked when that movie came.
I know we were shocked, but I thought maybe you got the idea, but you actually didn't. 2 years before is when you started working on it. It was a 2-year project.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Well, and I got to work on it a long time because I sent it the initial outline, the script, to Johnny Simons when he was teaching at Duke.
Okay.
And I said, "Can you consider this for your season?" And he sent me back a letter with the script saying, "I'm sorry, we have our season already planned out." So I sent it back to him and I said, "Well, how about the next year?"
Right.
Yeah.
And he thought that was, I don't know, it was so persistent. He told me, he says, "Well, we got to do that damn Ed Wood play so I can get it the hell out of my life."
Right. It's always a role that I wish I had taken to play Ed Wood. I regret it. You know, I took Stanley Kowalski because, you know, it was like a scholarship thing, like, you know, take this. And but I love being an audience member, and I love to see it. And then later on, I flew to Paris on a family vacation and got to see the Tim Burton one in Paris. I went out and bought a pack of cigarettes and saw it in Paris. You know, with the French subtitles. You know, I was the only English person in there. That was.
I saw Bergman's Magic Flute in Paris.
Really? Ingmar Bergman?
Yeah.
Magic Flute?
Yeah, I was just walking around and it was showing.
I gotta cut the dinner with Andre and get to the mime. So that was Pete Gooch, and he wrote Hubcaps Over Hollywood. It was a story about Ed Wood 2 years before Tim Burton even came up with the idea, or whatever, or 2 years when Tim Burton was coming up with the idea. But it was only coincidence that they opened on the same weekend. I was originally supposed to be Ed Wood, but I turned it down for playing Streetcar. Named Ira Stanley. It was a scholarship thing I had to do for school. We're going in to see the theater right now. Seating. All right, so this is Molemo, Old and in the Way. He's a pantomime. It's the same featuring Molemo. Information about it right here. Where's mom?
I have an orange one in my house.
You know, it's a cute thing if you want.
Looks almost sold out, pretty much. Picture of the stage looks like a sofa that would be like in a living room, or not a sofa but a recliner, and then a chair with a table, end table with pillows on it, and that's pretty much it. Something done in Children of Paradise where he goes on stage. That's that, and he goes on.
It was the same thing.
There she is. That one.
They ring a cowbell to announce the beginning. Dana. Dana from stage one. Dana Schulte.
Wow. That's random.
I just saw your European vacation trip.
I saw you. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, you too. How was Europe?
It was really nice. It was really a good time. It was great. It was a rare experience, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Time with my daughter and family.
That was awesome. Yeah. Just,
So good to see you too. Are you going to record that?
So that was absolutely brilliant. It's 1 hour. It's a one-man show, so it's not pure pantomime. There's talking. It's like a one-man show, but there's a female part in it, and it's the best work I've seen of Johnny Simon's since maybe the Nose Show, which I saw back in the early 90s. But by far, I highly recommend it. It's only one more performance, but they did get a digital copy, so there is a digital video copy of it. But it's absolutely brilliant. It's about his the history of the theater and how his life is connected with it in his past. One of the best things ever. Anyway, I think I may talk to Lorca. She's like one of the actresses here.
whipped cream.
That would be a no-brainer. I know, I'm familiar.
Oh, good. Great thing. I want you to sunflowers after Bob died. Johnny came to my house a million times, but we took these things over. Really? Really? Oh,
Somebody else is in the trouble there with that. And then there's two special ed kids that a guy comes in and gets one.
and for that to all be real.
Just in case, a few lines, if I forget. There's a line about death. He didn't picture death as a man with a black robe and a sigh or scathe or anything like that. You would picture an Ingmar Bergman's Seventh Seal, but he pictured death as Scarlett Johansson. It's one of the lines. It was great. There's just tons of stuff, you know. He basically is old and decrepit, and he's trying to do average things like sit in a chair and put on a pair of blue jeans, which takes him a long time to do, and spills a whole thing of chips on the floor, and then spills like this bottle of pills, and takes his cane and uses it as like a golf club to bat at the chips. Goes on, this long struggle of getting acclimated. And then it's a long story that starts at the beginning of the theater, and Jimmy Joe being a Southern preacher, and Johnny states that he was a closet Southern Baptist, secretly an Anabaptist or something like that. Or that's what I heard. And it's amazing show in memory and how he pulled it off. It's just amazing at the age of 84. Here's a program. Ticket prices were set at $2.50 back then, so he set the current price for the ticket for $2.50. So paying no mind to inflation. Doug Valentine was a musician that Johnny met. Johnny met Doug when Doug was a boy and cast him in a show, Casa Manana. I guess it's a pirate. I think it was a pirate show. Molemo is the pseudonym for Johnny Simons. He's one of the last living members of the original tribe. Of an old, elderly hippie. Here's the production staff. Flyer. Definitely will be talking about this for a while, recalling the memory of this show right here.
You heard about Ken Paxton?
Crazy Tune, the sister of Tommy Tune.
I felt bad because I didn't want to go back. He's all steady and I kind of felt guilty.
I don't think it was required.
Well, no, they kind of looked at me like they're all. I walk in, everybody's doing this. I said that, but it wasn't. They were just doing something.
We know to get you over that, we can recreate that paint line on the table and let him use it.
You'll just have to wait till I fall. Where is she?
It's a big. It's gigantic. Yeah, they're different sizes. It's a big one. He's a big dude too. Look how big the neck is.